Man, he trying to get somebody
yes,
hype,
sir.
man.
You have
You
tuned
bringing back
in to
some
another
memories.
edition of the
More
Sports
pictures,
Shop
man.
27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. To the far right, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And in the middle,
That's right, man.
today's special guest, former Clemson tight end and former Tennessee Titan, Big Ben Hall.
Big
How y'all
Ben, baby.
doing,
What's
man?
up?
How you
What's going on,
doing?
baby?
What's
Yeah,
up, man?
glad to have you, man.
I'm here.
Yes, sir. You wasn't expecting
What's
that
up?
intro, were you?
No, definitely wasn't expecting. Like I said, it brought back a lot of memories, man. I'm looking at it like, wow, like did I do that? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you done that, baby. You done that.
Man, that I'm
Yes,
telling you,
sir.
like
Yes, sir. All right.
it's crazy how much you forget over time, just kind of where you been and what you done.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Big Ben, for the people that don't know where you from and a little bit about your background.
Oh, I'm from Welford, South Carolina. The biggest, smallest town you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? As far as my background, as far as getting into football,
Just like where you
mean
from, how you grew up, and how many, siblings, things of that nature.
Oh man, okay. But I grew up, man. My mom, single mother household, man. 2 older sisters and a younger brother. But then, literally a week and a half ago, I just found out, I just met my father for the first time, and that added 3 more brothers and a sister, and I'm the oldest out of them. So that's a blessing right there, man. Just adding more family to the pack, man, and getting to know them. But I grew up in a real family, man. I always say real because they kept it real, man, and
Yeah.
I love the genuine love that we got and the realness, that my mom was able to give, and my aunts and uncles, man, they were all real, pure people. So you never got any sugarcoat. You know what I'm saying? There was never no sugarcoat. If they had something to tell you, they're going to tell you just like it is. And I was so thankful for that, especially when you start getting into the real world. I think that gave me some armor to really attack life a little better, because I was used to hearing things, from a raw perspective versus just sugarcoating anything. So that helped me a lot.
Cool, man. Hey, man. So, what the people want to know? At what age you started playing football?
I think I was around 9 years old, and that happened just out of one. I think it was one summer. One of the coaches kind of just that knew about me just came and asked me to play football, and I never forget it was $25 to get your equipment. And my mama said, "Boy, if I pay this $25, you better not quit." That's all I remember. And so I remember getting my equipment, and I remember I remember not really feeling it at first. I don't think it was because of the actual sport. I think it was because of the actual time of day they wanted us to go practice. And I'm a country boy, so I was used to going across the street and playing at the lake. You see what I'm saying? And I grew up with a lake right across the street. So I was, around that time they wanted to practice, I was used to going and hitting rocks and just, playing in the yard versus football. So I kind of wanted to give up a little bit at that point. But early on, I can't remember the exact coach's name when I was that young, but they saw something in me because they would pick me up and drop me off, and my mom didn't have to worry about me no more. So I'm thankful for those type of coaches that was able to see something in me early, that was picking me up, dropping me off, and just kind of grooming me into football. And it really, I can honestly say, just from some things that I could have probably gotten into, just from my environment and what was around me growing up, football really did save my life at a young age, as far as just getting me involved in something that has structure in it.
Cool, man.
So who were the people that you looked up to when you started playing football from your area?
Man, when I started playing football, only people I knew about at the time, my stepdad used to like the Dallas Cowboys, so that's why I became a Dallas Cowboy. So it was Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman. I was all about Dallas Cowboys, and then Michael Jordan, of course. But I didn't have anybody at a young age. I I didn't have anybody locally
What's up, Mike?
that I had looked at.
So,
Yeah, I didn't have anybody locally that I looked up to. It was more so just Dallas Cowboys, Michael Jordan. It didn't really start actually realizing who people were until like my 9th grade year in high school is when guys like Darrell Robinson, who was a guy that I looked up to that could really play some football at Burns High School, Tony Lane. But it was guys that I started to see as I entered 9th grade, because at 9th grade I was already getting moved up to varsity sports. And so I think 9th grade was the pivotal moment for me when I actually saw people in the area that I went to high school with actually playing on Friday night and making some noise. And you was like, man, I can see myself being like him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you play 7-on-7 in, I guess that was your freshman year? Was you on varsity your freshman year?
Actually, what they had was they would move you up at the end of the year. I got moved up at the end of the year as a freshman. I think they had started. I played varsity basketball as a freshman. Football really didn't start for me as like varsity until the 10th grade. Believe it or not, I was actually rebellious. The coach wanted me to actually play on varsity, and I think I had a good chance of starting on varsity as a freshman. But I was so rebellious, like I wanted to be with my boys.
Yeah, I got you.
I didn't really value the sport at that time. I didn't know who I was, obviously, but so I wanted. The coach was talking to me about it and want me to come do extra practice with varsity, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm ready to go." I didn't want to do no more.
And
who was your head coach when you? I'm sorry, KJ.
Yeah, what position you playing in basketball? I think basketball. Center spot, wasn't it?
I played center. I was about 6'4" coming out of junior high school. I hit a growth spurt one summer because I probably went for like 5'10", and then it's like when I went to high school, somehow I was 6'4" and just dunking and just got this athleticism out of nowhere. It just happened over one summer. It just seemed like I just sprouted up and I could do anything I put my mind to then. But that's how tall I was. I played center in high school in basketball.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So your head coach in football, was it Jake Bentley's dad?
Bobby
Bentley.
Yeah.
Bobby Bentley, man. He
So the reason why I asked is because we scrimmaged y'all in 7-on-7 in Presbyterian, and I was wondering because Darrell Robinson was on the team. I was wondering if you were out there. That's why I asked.
I probably was out there looking, but like I said, that year, Darrell, when his year, I was still young and didn't want to be a part of ours. It had nothing to do with not being able to play with the guys. I wanted to go be with my homeboys. Like, we coming up from junior high, I already missed basketball. I don't get to play with them or be with them. So I was like, nah, I don't got time. I don't want to be with no varsity. So I probably did that to myself as far as like self-sabotage my freshman year of being able to be on varsity because of my attitude. I just didn't want to be on varsity. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I wasn't into it at that point at 9th grade. I wasn't that really into football to really be wanting to give up some other things at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, my son, he played at Burns High School. I know they travel outside, like, they go play teams in Florida. I know they play a team up in New York. Did y'all do the same when you was there? Because that's credit right there.
I like to take credit, and I rarely take credit for anything, but my senior year, I like to take credit for being one of the first classes as far as in a long time that was able to knock off some of the teams that we had trouble beating in a long time. Like Gaffney, Spartanburg High. Like, we went to Gaffney and beat Gaffney in the reservation, which is something you don't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my senior year, then we went to the second round playoffs and lost to Marlboro County that had Tyler Zimmerman on it.
That wide receiver.
I know him. Yep. So that was just a good year. We actually kind of just catapulted ourselves and put Burns in a position to start rolling and get back in a position of where we supposed to be here type feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Really.
That's what I kind of take credit for my senior years, just putting it on my back to where we went and beat teams that we wasn't beating in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I like to point out something real quick about Bobby Bentley. that you spoke about Bobby
Good.
Bentley. I gotta share this, man. He taught me one of the most valuable lessons in my life. Coming out of high school, real quick. When you used to play every week, the player of the game would get a T-shirt, and so I'm obviously, once again, not bragging, but I'm doing my thing every Friday night. So I'm like, hey, man, I'm trying to get this T-shirt, man. You know, you ain't got many clothes in high school. I'm looking forward to that T-shirt to cut it up, you know. So long story short, game after game, week after week, we in the team meeting after the game. He throwing this T-shirt over my head, like, you know, giving the player of the game to somebody else. And I'm saying, like, you got to be kidding me, man. So I remember we played OW. Woody's, you know, Woody Dasley, he from OW. We playing against them, and I remember just having a chip on my shoulder. I had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Like, I wasn't playing no games with him. So after the game that Sunday, I knew for sure I was getting me a T-shirt. Once again, he threw the T-shirt over my head and didn't give me the play of the game.
Ooh.
He must have saw it on my face and knew I was mad. And he said, he called me Deuce. I wore number 2. He said, Deuce, I know you probably wonder why you haven't gotten a T-shirt. And I'm looking like, yeah, finally explain this to me. Yeah. He said, you were going out there every Friday night doing what you are supposed to do. And that changed my life forever, man, because it got me from thinking I'm supposed to get a reward for something and start stepping into the position where that's what I'm supposed to do every Friday night, regardless of a T-shirt or not. And that kind of helped me out of life, man, to know that there's certain things you just do regardless of rewards. If you're going to be a player or go be a beast, don't look for no trophies, man. Just make up your mind that that's what you're going to do every week.
That's what's up, man.
Cool. That's what's up, man. So when you played basketball and football in high school, how far did you go in basketball in the playoffs?
I ran track too. Let me throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I didn't run track. The first time I ran a 200 meter, I embarrassed myself. But basketball, we didn't go too far. Once again, I was a competitor, and I looked forward to any big guy that was bigger than me. Like, I used to get excited when I saw a dude that was taller than me. Like, oh, I'm about to eat you. Like, that was the motivation. Like, I didn't want nobody shorter, man. I love seeing a big dude, man. I'm talking about, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to eat your lunch. So basketball, we never made it to any playoff. We really wasn't a basketball school at the time. I'm pretty sure back in the day we had some runs and stuff, but during my 4 years of playing on varsity, we didn't really make a lot of noise to really get into some playoffs and stuff like that. We had decent teams. Now, we had talent, but we wasn't set up to really be like a state championship team at the time, I would say. Football was probably the most accomplishment that we had going to the playoffs, the second round playoffs, which we hadn't done that in a long time until my senior year. And track, I was in the state in high jump. I didn't win, but I could do high jump pretty good.
Yeah, that's what's up. I know your senior year, you was one of the top tight ends in the nation, man. And then you got the opportunity to play in the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I had no clue that I was the number 1 tight end in the nation at the time. We didn't have YouTube, or there wasn't no internet to really go Google yourself and look stuff up. But I wasn't really concerned with any of that anyway. But yeah, I had no clue, and I had all the coaches you could name coming to recruit me, and I'm looking at these guys in the face like, who are you? I've never seen them before, never heard of them. From Tommy Bowden to Bobby Bowden, all these guys that these big names, Lou Holtz, that I know who they are now. Yeah. Back then, I'm looking them dead in the face like, yo, this KB said that, yeah, me and KB was at the Shrine Bowl, man. That's what
what's up, KB?
Me, Kyle, Barry Hamilton, like, man, we linked up, man. That's when I met some of the coolest brothers ever in my life, man, down at the Shrine Bowl. And I didn't even know what the Shrine Bowl was. Like, when they said, you going to the Shrine Bowl, I was like, what is that? I was thinking of, the Shriners and stuff. That's all I knew about. People who had a little red hair. I swear, man. Like, when I tell you, man, I didn't know nothing. And I remember Bobby Bentley actually came into my store probably about 6 months ago. And I asked him, I said, why you never told me I was the number 1 tight end? He said, you didn't need to know. He said, you didn't need to know. Exactly what he told me. So
He said you didn't
I
need to
literally
know.
had no clue who I was. I'm more fascinated with knowing guys like Kyle Brown and Roscoe Crosby, Aries Curry, Ty Meir. Like, I read more about them than I even knew who I was. That's crazy. Like, I was reading more about, like, the competition versus even know, like, the whole time I don't know who I am, but I'm making sure I know my opponent, but I don't know me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm
cool,
telling you,
man.
man.
That's cool. So
it's funny, man. When I look back on my recruiting days, it is so funny, man. I'm talking about I had the red carpet laid out for me, and I didn't know why. I'm looking at these men in the face like, because where I'm from, if somebody do that for you, you owe them something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, y'all done fed me good. Y'all got me in this nice room. What do y'all want? The whole time I'm just like, what do you want? What's the catch? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I could think about was, what do I owe you for this? And I was just nervous, man. Had no clue what was going on.
Man. So yeah, I know you was telling me you was traveling by yourself. You know what I'm saying? It was new.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went on an official visit was actually after a high school game. They told me it was a private plane waiting at GSP for me. And they asked me like, what you wanted to eat? And I was like, yeah, let me get some Oreos and milk. Like, that's all I could think of at the time. And I got on the plane, and sure enough, it was Oreos, milk, and the little cooler thing. And I'm by myself. It was two guys flying the plane, and I'm by myself drinking that milk. It was a night flight. The first time I ever flew was in a plane flight that could fit in my living room. And I'm on my way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I had no idea what was going on.
Man, stepping out on faith.
I'm talking about no idea. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but when I tell you I had no clue what they wanted, like, I didn't know nothing. And I think, you know, not to say he was doing it on purpose, but, you know, like he said, I didn't need to know I was number one tight end. Maybe I think coach was just keeping me in the blind, maybe to just make sure my ego was always in check or something. Because I really believe it was a good thing for me to not get caught up in anything, and I had no reason to get the big head or nothing, because I found out I was the number one tight end in the country when I got dressed for my first Clemson game and read the bio.
He really said the king of the house parties.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir. I did a lot for recruiting, man. I can't say that. When I got to Clemson, man, it seemed like when the recruits came in, I didn't even have one recruit my whole time in Clemson, yet I had every party for every recruit that came. That was crazy.
That's what's up, man.
Okay. Hey, who recruited you to come to Clemson, though? What coach was it? Remember?
Coach Brad Scott.
Brad Scott. Okay. All
right.
Well,
it was pretty much a mixture of Brad Scott, Coach Burns, Burton Burns, and you know, Tommy Biden himself a little bit. So it was like them three
working together. Okay.
Yep. And the crazy part is, like, I really didn't know who they were. They just came to Burns a lot. And I actually just got familiar with their face to trust them enough to start talking to them. Like, I didn't trust them. I was like, what do you want? Okay. You know? And it just kind of led to a relationship with them coming to practice a lot. And I was like, oh, okay, I see them a lot. I see his face a lot.
Oh, so that's what made you choose Clemson?
Okay. Well, what made me choose Clemson was that was the only visit my mom could go on with me. See what I'm saying? That's the only visit she could get off work to come with me on. And so we went, and when I tell you my mom, we had the time of our lives. Like, my mom, she just touches me, and she loves some shrimp, and Clemson done had these big shrimps, and they done put up in a nice room, and we go see the stadium, and we just having a ball, and she about in tears, like, you know, seeing that big old Death Valley.
Yeah, for real, man. Like, it's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? And we just, you know, it probably was a long time since I probably spent time with my mom. So that weekend we bonded. And truth be told, Clemson had green grass on Bowman Field, and they had Lake Hartwell. Where I live at and where I grew up at, we got trees and green grass, and we got Lake Cooley. So when I saw Lake Hartwell and green grass, it made me feel like I could do this. I could come up here.
Yeah,
and that's it. I promise you, That was the deciding factor. It had nothing to do with nothing else. I don't know nothing about no playing time. I don't know nothing about what my major gonna be. I ain't even think about no school. So
green grass, baby.
it was green grass and Lake Hartwell that made me come to Clemson. And a lot of people don't know that because they thinking it's got to be something bigger, and I'm like, no, man, you don't understand. When I seen that green grass and I seen Lake Hartwell, I said, I'm going.
Hey, you made a good decision, though.
So when you get in the locker room at Clemson,
it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I never regret Clemson.
All right, man. So when you get there, who's the first player that welcome you into the team?
Oh man, that's kind of hard. I remember vaguely just the recruiting visit and meeting guys. Like Mo Fountain was there. Like I just remember, kind of it was first like meeting the other freshmen. That's what I remember first, and then I remember meeting the older guys on my official visit with T-Zac. Travis Zachary was my host, and we was at his house, and that's when I KJ, was you there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think he had like a small party or get together, and that's when I kind of started meeting everybody up at that party.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like that.
Yep.
So talk about your first practice, man. You on the depth chart, you coming in as a red shirt, or you coming in straight on the field?
Oh no, I don't think they ever had any intentions on red shirt me. I would have loved it, after knowing what I had to go through. It was great. I definitely wasn't in shape for it. I tell you that. Man, Coach Joey Basson got me together quick. But it was a wake up call. It was a wake up call. I think my attitude and my heart was immediately, I could step in and play with anybody. I didn't have much fear in me as far as like getting in and playing football. Being a country boy, you just got to get that out the way early. We ain't got no time to be scared. Just get out there and get knocked around, or whatever's gonna happen. But being afraid to compete was never not a problem for me. I think the biggest challenge, I remember one day having like a small panic attack. I don't think it was like nothing major. I think I had to go to practice. I had to go get a workout in between my classes. I think I had anxiety. Like I just was doing too much.
Yeah, man.
That first couple of days, that first couple of weeks was stressful for me because they was like, you got to catch the cat bus to go work out and then get back to your class, and then you got to be ready for film. And I was just like, hey man, this is a lot.
Time management, baby.
Yeah, time management. I was like, this is a lot because I was getting fussed at for little different things, and I was trying to figure out like, well, man, I ain't got no car. Like, how I'm kind of making excuses instead of just getting it done at the time. So I remember like that first practice was kind of stressful for me. I almost didn't want to be there, just from the pressure of it. Wasn't even football. It was like all the classes and orientations and stuff. All that was getting to me more than football. Football was the most easiest thing to do there. It was trying to get adjusted to all that with Joe White. He was our advisor at the time, and you know what I mean. Like trying to get with them about classes was my most stressful thing.
Yeah, football is easy almost, huh?
Yeah, the practice was great because once I got in touch with, KB jumped on here. I probably was one of the biggest jokesters you could find when it came to practice and stuff. So practice was never a problem with me.
Cool. Yeah. So when you first go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say one of your big games, man, was the NC State game, man. I know. I remember, man. You was getting all the things, scored about 3 touchdowns, maybe.
Well, I think I had 1 touchdown, but I had a lot of catches. I had a good bit of catches in that game. Yeah, because I seen some of the highlights from it, and I forgot that I really had that kind of game there as a true freshman. So that's what was kind of introduced me to college football. That game right there kind of put me just in a position to be like, okay, I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. Because it just came natural. Like, Woody did a great job being a leader on the field and just making me feel comfortable. And so NC State game was probably one of the first games that I had like a breakout game as a freshman.
Okay. So you go into your sophomore year and you got Charlie Whitehurst as your quarterback now, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. Same ball, velocity, arm strength. Like whose ball was harder to catch?
Well, to be honest, Willie was the quarterback first. It was Willie Simmons that was
my bad.
He was there. Charlie came like game 3 or 4 that year. That he got they replaced Willie with Charlie. And the difference between the two, I think Charlie was just, it's hard to say because Willie was a great quarterback. I just think when you look at size and ability, Charlie probably just looks like the epitome of a quarterback. Yeah, like Willie is a quarterback and can play quarterback and was a great quarterback. But then when you look at just size, 6'4", lean, long arms, he just looks like a quarterback. He just looks like a better quarterback from, just looking at him. And then, but I didn't really concern myself with that. I just was here to do my job because when you get into that starting quarterback position, it's a lot of political stuff, and I just let it go. Like, man, I'm with whoever gonna start. I'm just gonna do the best with whoever's throwing the ball. But Willie, it just seemed like when he was in there, I did get the ball more. Florida State game, I think maybe because different quarterbacks have different things they look for, and I think Willie may have been a tight end guy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like some quarterbacks just love feeding tight end. That's their best target, and then some quarterbacks love the deep ball, or they got their favorite receiver. So when Willie was there the first couple games, I remember having some pretty good games against like Florida State. I remember having like 4 or 5 catches in the first half because he was just looking for me. Yeah. When Charlie started, I think the offense just kind of fell away from the tight end at the time. A lot of people always call me the most unutilized tight end in Clemson history sometimes. But I don't have any complaints with it. I'm just saying I think the offensive team wasn't to my advantage when Charlie played. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yep. So I got some footage, man, from 2003.
Where you find that? I got to see this.
It's gonna bring back some memories. I hope you don't tear up.
You finna shock me.
All right. Well, let's check it out real quick, man.
Okay.
Good, man. What you got, man?
Whitehurst going deep again. Touchdown, Aries Curry. I never knew that a kid like me could take his mic around the world and flash the big ass D and rock the masses. From Madrid to Calabasas, Tijuana, Mexico, through the devils in Tokyo. Say they know me though, cause I be putting in work. Commit my life to rebirth, well respected, cause that's my word. And I'm sure you heard about a new sound gone round. She might have left my hood, but she was born in my town. You didn't know how we was doing the scene. Well, it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. Well, it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say we rep the South. So what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth. I know this without a doubt. Cause if you know these streets, yeah, these streets know you. And when it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. What to do? Me and my crew, we stay true, old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen the few. We rise to the top, what you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got. You didn't know that we was doing the thing. Well, it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. Well, it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the South. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the South. Here comes the
one thing you can count on the Tigers to do, they're going to hit you.
All night, and here's their first shot. That's perfect man coverage.
Boston's pass, it is knocked away at a really nice Justin Miller defense.
And on play action, the third man wide open over the middle, tight end Ben Hall. It has happened 3 times now in the same area of the field. A 39-yard touchdown.
I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? Well, it's alright. It's alright. I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? Well, it's alright. It's alright. I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say we rep the south. So what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth. I know this without a doubt. 'Cause if you know these streets, then these streets know you. When it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. What to do? Me and my crew, we stay true, old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen the few. We rise to the top. What you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mind, show me what you got. You didn't know that we was doing the city. Well, it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. Well, it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now.
Big 3rd and 10 here, and with a step, Youngblood makes the catch.
Whitehurst from the shotgun. They turn it into an option. Coleman at the 5. Hurdles. Touchdown. But boy, the Clemson Tigers made it look like child's play.
To go roll out. Whitehurst. Nobody open. Keeping and scoring.
They give it to Jasmine right at the middle, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Clemson Tigers.
Take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say. Is that all you got? I'll take your best shot. Is that all you got?
Look at this alignment. They left it on the ground, and it's Jaruski at the 5. Touchdown, Browning.
Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now?
Turn in overtime. Comes the pass. Whitehurst fade to the end zone. Touchdown. Clemson wins. Kevin Youngblood.
Fielded at about the 36 by Miller. Quickly across the 40, 45, 50. Inside territory of Duke, inside the 35, 30. Down the sidelines. And on his way is Justin Miller. He puts some orange. He puts some purple in the end zone.
Down to the 25, and Hamilton on the return. Tries to go the other way. Hamilton gets a block, gets another block. Colter is dropped to the ground, and he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Georgia all alone, going deep. Goodbye, Derek Hamilton. A 58-yard touchdown.
Ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready and now. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready and now.
Well, that was some memories right there.
Yes, sir.
All that was memories, man. D Ham, man, Jasmine White, man, that was memories there.
That's
Yes,
what's
sir.
up, man.
You got to show
I
some
love
wheels out in that 39-yard catch, bro.
Oh man, that's just a mistake they made. They throw me the ball, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta say it as a tight end. You gotta catch everything. You don't know when the next one coming, man.
You're right.
For sure, man.
You're right. You're right. You got to make it count, man. So
Hey,
talk about
man.
playing against Tennessee in that bowl game, man.
Man, that was
They were
fun.
ranked high that year.
I think
Y'all upset them.
that was fun, man. It was even more fun because I think Corey Larkins was the running back for Tennessee at the time, and Troy, a guy named Troy, he played fullback. And I ended up meeting them with the Tennessee Titans. So that was bragging rights of beating them they senior year at the Peach Bowl. Because they was talking a lot of junk at the Peach Bowl. I don't know what for it. I think they was ranked number 5 in the nation, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we beat them. We beat them down there. So that was good. That was my first time really experiencing Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, at I guess with that much freedom, just being down there and having some time off with the fellas and kind of getting to see the city. And so that was a different experience. It was like my second bowl game. I think the first one was Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so what did you enjoy about being a tight end at Clemson, man? Like
just the overall experience of just being a Clemson tight end?
Tight end, yeah, man. Like to help another guy that's coming along that might want to be a tight end at Clemson. Like, hopefully.
Well, I think now they definitely gonna have a different experience than I had if they come to Clemson now. I think the offense is definitely more wide open. It's definitely in more favor of the tight end.
Yeah.
I think when I came along, once again, one of those things where you take credit. I think my size and speed and just ability coming out of high school, the big tight end wasn't a thing at the time. Like the big mobile receiver type tight end wasn't really looked at like that till when I came out. So I think they didn't really know what to do with all the talent that we had at the time, plus me being at tight end.
Yeah.
So, but the experience was great. I mean, because, you know, one thing about Clemson, man, I always loved just the ability of, you know, letting everybody play, you know, as far as like, I think we do a great job with walk-ons, getting on and being able to play and earning scholarships. That was something I really liked because we had Kevin Burnett, I think at the time, Thomas Hunter, which were 2 guys I think that were walk-ons that earned some scholarships during my time, and they played tight end.
Okay.
So it just was a great experience. You know, being a tight end at Clemson was just a great experience for me. But like I said, now I would highly encourage any young athlete that's a tight end looking to get you know, some playing time and display their athletic ability. I think Clemson and Dabo Swinney gonna put everything they have to use now.
Yeah. Hey, was you the type of tight end that like to go deep, or you like the little short balls, man? Which one?
Man, I don't know. I think in high school it was the deep ball because I thought I was more of a receiver in high school. But in college, man, it was something about just running that post corner or running like that tight end drag. You know what I'm saying? Just that simple drag where you get on through and just beat your linebacker across the field real quick, or a deep drag, or that post corner, like I said, you know. So I think for most part, them short drags and being in that middle did something for me. I guess it was the adrenaline of knowing you got to go across that middle, and if you do catch it and make a play, chances are, just like at Carolina, you can get gone up that middle.
That's right, man. That's right.
Cool. So what was it like facing competition and blocking linebackers like Julius Peppers, Sean Merriman, and those guys from Maryland?
Man, look here. First of all, I want somebody to apologize to me for not telling me who that was. Once again, me coming to Clemson, man, I didn't have a real football IQ of who these guys were, because even myself, I didn't even know I was ranked and who I was. So I didn't really have a big arena of knowledge when it came to who Julius Peppers was. It wasn't until like after these guys had been successful in the pros that I actually was like, yo, I used to block that guy. Like, that's when I kind of knew who they truly were. I think Julius Peppers played us his senior year. He had a good game. I remember him tipping the ball and intercepting one and almost taking it to the house.
Yeah.
The couple memories I got blocking him. I don't even remember the guy really moving like that. Like I just kind of was blocking him, but he just did what he wanted to do, man. That was a big dude, man. And I'm just a little true freshman trying to just do my job. I wasn't scared of him. I didn't even know who he was, thank God. So that's what gave me the confidence to go play, because I think that's one of the things that helped me as a player. I never really knew who other guys were, so I didn't really give them no credit. You just had to show me on the field versus kind of bowing. I never bowed down to anybody on the field like, oh, that's Julius Peppers. Let me go. I don't want to go too hard. Like, no, I gave him my best effort. I just remember him clubbing me one time with one of them big old arms, man. But Sean Merriman, oh man, that dude was a different kind of strong. Like, I knew something was up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a different kind of strong. Like, I ain't never ran up on nobody and had a stalemate with a linebacker. Like, I'm used to getting that, and then, blocking him on back. He was a monster, man. When we played him at Maryland, and the last year he came to Clemson, man, he was running over coaches out of bounds. This dude was out of control, man. He definitely is lights out. So I give people credit where it's due. So it's fun to me to go back in my memory bank and see guys that's future Hall of Famers and stuff like that and be like, man, I used to block that guy. I used to be on the same field with that guy. So it made me feel good to actually just compete. To know you compete, you actually had some competition out there when you played. You played against some legit guys.
Yeah. So how was it getting ready for the NFL? Then you got the opportunity to play with the Tennessee Titans, man. Like the dream come true.
That was different because once again, just me being me, I just saw it as just opportunity. I never had like this dream to go to the NFL. So
he did say he watched you play.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
But did say he watched you play, big tight end.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like it means more to me now to receive the love and to get the compliments that you get, because now I can look back and see like, yo, man, I was somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually did some things and I played against some people and I was somebody, because in the moment I never was caught up in it, man. I never got caught up in who I was.
Yep.
Or, I remember making first All-American and they told me, I was like, what is that? Like, what does that come with? Am I going to get, more food? Am I going to get a bigger meal plan or something like that? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, anybody that know me that ever met me just know I'm silly, I'm goofy. I love to have a good time, man, to see people smiling. Football was a bonus for me, man. When I tell you, it was just a blessing to be able to play with everybody and just form that brotherhood. I miss the brothers more than the game itself. I miss just the moment. Like I said with KJ, he always just stick out to me just laughing like he just always, you know what I'm saying? Like he just always gonna be that guy, man. And so talking about, I used to call myself talent, man. I used to love to make people laugh, man. I was just a comedian, but the game itself, man, was a bonus. So when it came time to the NFL, to answer your question, I didn't take it too serious. I really just was myself once again, just like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever they tell me to do. When they come work me out, I'm gonna give them my best. But I wasn't caught up in it like this is something I had to do. Like how some guys are engulfed, like I gotta get to the NFL, I gotta make it happen. Mm-hmm. To me, it was just an opportunity that I was like, okay, when they tell me to run, I'm gonna run. When they tell me to do the bench press, I'm gonna do the bench press. And I think it took a lot of pressure off my back to not really care as much, but just do whatever was asked of me. And I ended up getting to the NFL, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? To me, when I got the options after the draft, I had a few teams that were talking about drafting me late, but none of it went through. In Tennessee, it was like Tennessee, Atlanta, Green Bay. It was a couple of teams that were calling me, and I think my agent at the time, we just kind of looked at the depth chart, and Tennessee had the best situation where they had two veteran tight ends. They drafted one, which was Bo Scaife at the time, and they usually carry 4, possibly 5. So that was a good opportunity for me to get in there and possibly make that team. And so that's how that happened. And I actually was with the Arizona Cardinals longer than Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on the practice squad out there for about a year. And that's when I went and played the NFL in Europe. But Tennessee was a great experience, man. I met one of my brothers, longtime brothers. His name is Ben. His name is Ben Troop. Y'all probably heard of him. He played tight end for Florida and went to Tennessee.
All right.
So that was fun. And like I said, the guy Troy and Corey, who played for Tennessee, Volunteers, I met them at Tennessee. So it was interesting, man. The NFL was an interesting place for me because once again, I don't think I took it serious because I just went in there as me, laughing, joking. I think, I made a lot of good relationships just because I think I just always was able to be myself no matter the environment. And it helped take the pressure off of me just to go out there and play. And meeting Steve McNair was like the only time I ever felt like, is this real? Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Steve McNair he had been in the game long enough to where I remember playing with him on the video game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to be in the same huddle with Steve McNair was definitely a blessing and definitely one of them things like, wow, okay, I'm in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like
Eddie George wasn't there, right?
Eddie George.
No, Eddie George had retired. He had retired.
He was at Dallas.
I mean, Chad, not Chad.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Eddie George had retired. I remember seeing him around. I seen him around the facility. Like he came around, but he wasn't playing anymore.
Who was the running back at the time? I can't remember.
Travis Henry.
Okay.
A guy named Travis
White
Henry,
and Lindell.
Lindell White came.
Lindell White.
I was with 2 training camps with Tennessee. That's what's kind of weird. I was with them in 2005. Went to Arizona, made the practice squad. That was a weird kind of story. I kind of got tired of football, really. When Tennessee cut me, it kind of took my soul. And what I mean by that is, it was the first time I ever just gave off on everything for football, trying to make the team during training camp. And that's when I found out the hard way that some relationships are stronger than talent. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, not to get political, but just saying sometimes relationships are stronger than talent. And I felt like I didn't really get a honest shot to really, make the team. But I can't complain. Whatever happened. So anyway, I was at home and you started doing these workouts. Like they would call you to come work out. So I would fly to Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, and work out, right? But they wasn't signing me. So I remember coming home one night and I was like, man, I'm through with these workouts. I don't want to do this no more. And my agent called me one afternoon. It was late, but Arizona time is 3 hours behind. So he said, you need to be on a plane tomorrow to go to Arizona and work out. Man, I literally packed a pair of drawers. You hear me? Like a pair of boxes to take a shower. I didn't expect to make this team. And I go out there and I run, jump, catch, and do everything they tell me. He was like, congratulations, man, you're an Arizona Cardinal. I was like, what? I got stuff to do. I got grass to cut. I told my mom, I'm just come back and cut the grass. Like, man, I got things to do. And lo and behold, man, I didn't come home for a whole other year. Like I was out there, and like I said, for the remainder of the season on practice squad. And that's when you get to kind of see the real setup of the NFL when you actually make the team, whether it be practice squad or the 53. You actually get to go along and be a part of the team. And you get to see how they prep, and you practice it every day, and you're actually a professional athlete now. So that was the first time that I actually got inside of the NFL to see it from a week-to-week basis, from practice to game prep to game day, to actually, receiving like your game check and just really being a part of the NFL. I think that was the first. Arizona was the only team that actually gave me that full NFL experience. Like, okay, I'm here, like going out with the players, and I was out there with Matt Leinart, Edwin James, Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner, Anquan Bolden. You know what I mean? Like just really being out there with some superstars and Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I look back now and it makes me laugh because I'm like, I didn't take nothing serious. Like I was out there with these guys I done met Edwin James and Kurt Warner, Super Bowl guys, and I promise you, man, I was joking the whole entire time. Like I was just silly, man. And I look back at my life like, wow, I was really a part of a lot of major, moments. But
Yeah, man.
I didn't really see it as serious as everybody else did, probably.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let everybody know what you're doing now, Big Ben.
Oh Lord. It's a blessing, man. I bake cakes for a living now. So any of my old teammates, man, I bet you nobody named Mama could have put me doing what I'm doing now. And that's exactly why it's something that God called me to do, because it's not something that I chose to do as far as like grew up wanting to bake cakes, or nobody in my family bakes. Like my mother doesn't bake, my grandma doesn't bake. Nobody gave me any recipes. Nobody set me up for success with this recipe book. It was strictly a journey of faith, man. I just wanted to be more in my community. I always had a passion for that because it was teachers and coaches that I feel like really groomed my life and kept me out of trouble and gave me the opportunity to be able to go to Clemson or even to make it to the NFL or go to Europe. It started in my community with people laying hands on me, so to speak, so that's what really changed my life, was just people in my community. So when I got back home and got done with football, man, it just was on my heart to like, man, you need to be somebody in your community that can give back the way people was helping you. And I was working a job at the time, and nothing's wrong with a job, but it wasn't giving me the freedom to be in the community and help the way I wanted to help, whether that was physically or financially or whatever. A job just wasn't giving me the means to do that. And man, I started praying and just really put myself like, man, I got to do something. And
That's
so
right.
I really just started doing a lot of reading and just getting to know myself as a man, and realizing. And this podcast is a big reminder of like, man, you done some things in your life, man. You're a beast. Don't never forget that
That's right.
you have something about you that's different. You have the ability to be disciplined, the ability to be a professional athlete. So you got to take those same qualities and realize who you are. And that's what I wanted to share, because I want anybody that's ever played a sport in general or just anything realize that you're different, and you got a different set of skills about you that you can apply to literally anything. You can go be the number one tight end in the country. You can go be the number one baker in the country. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So, but I really just applied who I am to bake. Ben Hall. I just applied my personality, my work ethic, my faith. I've always had strong faith. I think that's what's always kept me laughing and joking, is that I knew God always had a place for me in this world. I wasn't never just a slave to anything, meaning I knew at any moment I could, do whatever I put my mind to. And so baking has been a blessing to me, man. I taught myself how to bake, self-taught. I quit my job with a couple $100 in my pocket, and I really just got in the kitchen. I got super focused. Didn't party, didn't go out, no girlfriends, no nothing. I want to be very honest about this thing, because I think somebody that may be listening needs to know that, hey, man, you can do anything you put your mind to.
That's right.
If you just focus, if you just cut off everything that doesn't mean you're no good, anything that's distracting. The enemy always just wants your mind. He don't want nothing from you but just to keep you distracted. So focus is key. Discipline is key. I recently just started a new business, which is a professional speaker, life coach, and business coach. So yeah, so it's just one of my passions, man. Just want to see people do good, and especially us as former athletes, man. I get excited about us because, like we talked about, off camera, man. Never forget who you are, man. You're a beast, man. You've been out there amongst some of the best athletes in the world and have thrived. So what makes you think you can't apply that same energy, focus, and talent into something else? You see what I mean? So that's what led me to baking, is just a passion to help others, man. That's why I bake. I don't bake because I love it. I bake because I love what it's allowed me to do. And I bake because it's something I knew God had told me to put my hands on and just trust Him, trust the process. So whole time I'm baking and looking at a cake like, hey, I got bills to pay, and trying to figure out how this cake was going to pay my bills. But I realized that wasn't my part. My part wasn't trying to figure out how the cake was going to pay my bills. My part was to actually walk by faith and just make the cake. Just mistake, then God was gonna take care of the rest. So that's what he's been doing. He showed me he's a multiplier. He's the Alpha, the Omega, man. I love him to death. And I encourage everybody to build their own personal relationship with God. Don't just take my word for it. Go build your own personal relationship, man, because if I could ever, the best thing I ever did was build a relationship with God, because it keeps me no matter what comes at me in life. It don't matter because I got God and I know it's a reason and a purpose behind it. So it allows me to thrive no matter what's thrown at me. I'm able to keep moving no matter what.
That's what's up. Hey, one of your best cakes is the banana pudding cake, right?
I don't know if that's the best cake. Now,
Okay.
that's my best. That's my best seller, the banana pudding.
Best seller. Okay, all right.
The banana pudding. The
Yeah.
banana pudding is the best seller. The banana pudding cake is a version of banana pudding inside a cake, so it's gonna be different than the actual banana pudding.
Okay,
It's
well
that's cake.
That's what my wife wants. Her birthday is on July the 16th.
And I got you locked in. That's a big old cake, man. You better be ready for that one. That's a big old cake.
Yeah. Do your thing now. Do your thing, baby.
It's a big old cake. It's a 3-layer cake, 100% from scratch, man. It's got bananas. It's got pudding in between the layers. It's got my homemade cream cheese icing. It's got cookies. Everything that a banana pudding would have, but it's just in a cake form.
Man, I'm
ready. And I taught myself how to make that, man. So when somebody tells me I got good bacon or just any kind of compliment, man. When people come to the store, man, just know that anybody that want to support me, I'm not trying to sell you anything ever. But anybody that wants to support, just know that you are supporting something that's giving directly back to the community. See what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that's about me. It's going directly into community with giving scholarships. Obviously, we got to pay the bills, but for the most part, man, I'm telling you, you don't know what kind of seed you're sowing into the community.
That's right, man. Get info.
Yep. So where do people can find your websites and order the cakes online, man?
Oh, right now I don't do online sales. You can call the shop, but you can find us online at Big Ben's Dessert on all platforms, which is Instagram and Facebook. My actual store is Big Ben's Desserts and Ice Cream, which is in Lyman, South Carolina. That's Lyman, South Carolina, 297 Spartanburg Highway, Lyman, South Carolina, 29365. The number there is 48864-485-2001. So you can always give us a call during office hours or during store hours. And we do make deliveries. So if you actually got, order something that's pretty big load or wedding cakes or things like that, we do make deliveries. And we're working on getting more ways to be able to get cakes delivered to you. Look at KB. KB is he's a big supporter, man. He done every holiday, every birthday, man, he buying something for the family.
That's what I'm talking
about. I mean, he definitely coming through, man. So it's just a blessing, man. This is just like your podcast, man, helping you connect with former players and your brothers. Man, Bacon has done the same thing for me, man. It's brought so many guys back to the shop. Leroy Hill, KB, Roy Walker. A lot of guys are Brandon Cannon. Just a lot of guys I played with. Trey, Tom McClinton. A lot of guys just, you, KJ, you know what I'm saying? Your wife. It's amazing just what just being who you are. How it can come back full circle, man. Always treat people with respect. If you ever think about starting a business, just always serve people, man. Focus on serving other people. Don't worry about money, man. Focus on your service. Focus on loving people, and money will come. So don't ever worry about money, man. Just focus on your service and your love.
Yeah. Just
yes, sir.
Your purpose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jermaine,
I'm just waiting for my camera to come back. Can y'all hear me?
We hear you, baby. We hear you, baby.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you played in NFL Europe for a little while. Talk about playing overseas before we wrap it up.
Man, overseas was some of the best football I played. Just in general, I think I was more relaxed when I played overseas. I think I think the process of how they decided who was going to play was better. I think a lot of the political side was removed, and they really was coaches that were looking for that guy that knew how to, learn the playbook and actually get out there and apply it in practice and show that he was the best man. So I think that was something that made me love Europe a lot better. The atmosphere was different, but the players, everything was just it felt like home, man. Like I guess because it was a secondary league, maybe guys were more humble than normal or whatever, but I just was blessed to meet a good group of coaches that just seemed like back home. It just seemed like a down home, different type of league, man. It was still serious, and we went out there to win every game. But the coaches, man, they were more relaxed. Like Europe was a lot more fun. It was a lot more just, like I said, relaxed. And I was fortunate enough to play in the World Bowl my first time over there, which is the next best thing to the Super Bowl. So that was an experience. Yeah, that was an experience to play in the World Bowl. We lost, I think, to Frankfurt by like 7 points or something. But Europe was amazing, man. Like, and that's another thing. Looking back on my life, it's like, man, I was in Europe twice. I actually lived over. Being around a different culture, seeing, speaking different languages, just seeing different things. The buildings, the people, man, the nightlife. Like, man, just to be able to say my talent took me over there. I didn't have to pay a dime to go there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what people got to realize. Like, man, your talent, man, your gifts will make room for you, man. God is not playing when He say your gifts will make room for you. Because I look back on my life and a lot of stuff that I've done, some of the best moments in my life, I didn't even have to pay a dime for it. You see what I'm saying? All I had to do was just do something I was naturally gifted at, which was playing football. That's a blessing. So Europe was definitely different. Some of the best football I ever played, the coaches, the atmosphere. I lived in Amsterdam and Holland. So you already know the nightlife over there is totally different and all this stuff going on, but it ain't as crazy as you think. It's like it's all about your mindset. And we got to travel to Germany and play all over Germany. It's a lot of memories, man. I got to sign the Berlin Wall where I learned about it in history, about Hitler and all that stuff. And you actually got to be over there, like to see some history. I'm big on history, so. But once again, football allowed me to go there. I didn't have to pay a dime to see none of this stuff and to get these experiences.
That's what's up, man. Hey, before we head out, though, is there any shout outs you like to give, man?
Shout out to y'all for one.
All right.
That's the first shout out, man. Shout out to y'all because y'all making big moves, man. I don't think you realize what God is gonna do for this platform, man. Just y'all, being obedient and just allowing people to share their stories, man. Like I said, you never know who's gonna reach, who's gonna see this, who's gonna so your platform, man, is just a major blessing in itself. I'm honored to be here and thankful that you gave me this opportunity. So the first shout out is to you, brother, your wife, all y'all, man, that incorporated and do your thing in this making this what it is.
Yeah.
And the second shout out is just, definitely God, man. Because I know that He orchestrates all this. And I know I speak on God a lot. I'm not trying to be over religious. I don't want nobody to
it's just what it is.
I just got faith, brother. I just love
it. Man.
And I can't really open my mouth without talking about it, Yeah. Excuse me for that, but so that and then just the players, shout out to Bubba, man, that timing in and just showing love, and shout out to Kyle and Muntz and E. Cove and all the people that's just shout out to the brotherhood, man, of everybody that's involved because we are family, man, that'll never be apart. Like, we got a bond that can never be broken. And I just always want to see my brothers win, and that's why I get on here and lay my heart on the table because I care for them. I really want to see you maximize who you are. Like you're not meant to be mediocre, man. You're meant to be great. You're meant to do something great with your life. And I don't got all the answers, and I ain't got it figured out. But I know you're a beast, and whoever watches this, bring that beast out, man. Stop playing with yourself. Stop playing. Go be something, man. Go do something extraordinary, man. But most importantly, build your relationship with God and just trust Him a little more. Just have a little more faith, man. And I'm telling you, things will change for you.
That's right.
Things will change. So just shout out to all my people in my community that ever helped me and laid hands on me to help me even get to the places that I was able to see. Shout out to my mom. who is my hero to this day, Barbara Hall. I love you. I'm Barbara Hall's son. And shout out to my father who I just met. Looking forward to building a relationship with him. Shout out to my stepfather. The people that just played a role in my life, and you can never forget the people that actually got you where you are, because it takes a village to raise anything.
That's
like
right.
I told you the other day, no one man has ever done anything great on his own. So if you think you're going to do something great without a good team, don't even try. It ain't even worth it.
Right.
You can't do it.
That's
So
right.
if you ain't in the people business, you ain't going to be in business at all. You got to know that off top. So once again, man, shout out to y'all. Like, I don't think you understand where y'all gonna go and just what you already done. But I see big things.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
One episode at a time, baby.
That's what's up, man.
Yes,
Thank you. Proud of you,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Somebody.
And I got that cake locked in.
Man. I appreciate you.
All right.
When you come
Somebody
to the
put
bake,
on the show. Somebody told you to tell the squirrel story.
oh man. Well, honestly, real quick, Clemson had some of the craziest squirrels ever. I see, like squirrels, man, they was different in Clemson. The animals in Clemson was different, period. I've never seen that like raccoons and skunks would take over your property, man. So I had this episode with squirrels that used to pick me out, man. I'm telling you, squirrels are doing everything under the sun like real people. And I guess I was Dr. Doolittle or something, man. I just saw the stuff. I just was peeping stuff nobody else saw. And when I tried to tell them, like, yo, you see that squirrel open the elevator, man? They be like, I didn't see that. And I'm like, you tripping. So I think I used to just see so much stuff with the animals that nobody else saw. I was the Dr. Doolittle of Clemson.
Yeah, Dr. Doolittle.
That's why they always tell me to tell the squirrel story, because I got so many squirrel stories, because I seen stuff they didn't see. Squirrels was day, man. They was driving cars, everything, man. It was crazy.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, that's a good one, man.
Oh,
yes,
man.
sir. Hey, man, we appreciate you coming by the show, Big Ben. Lots of laughs, lots of good stories, lots of info, and a lot of heartfelt messages. Down to earth guy, Big Ben making the cakes. You guys follow him on all the social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Order your cakes. He's in Lyman, South Carolina. Hey, big shout out to you, KJ. Big shout out to you. Let's keep going and doing this thing. Let's keep building.
That's right,
and
man.
for everybody watching, we appreciate you guys tuning in every episode. All the teammates that come in and chime in, we love you. We appreciate it.
Y'all, man.
And y'all just keep watching and follow us. We're going to keep going, all right?
Yes, sir.
You guys have tuned in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. To my far right, we got KJ Kevin Johnson. And in the middle, we like to thank today's special guest, former Clemson tight end, Arizona Cardinal, and Tennessee Titan, Big Ben Hall.
Ben, baby.
Love y'all, man.
All right,
remember, nothing could be sweeter. Remember that, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, KJ, what's our motto, KJ?
Hey, man, it's not how you start. It's just how you finish. You know what I mean? So keep going. Be great.
Yes, sir.
That's it. All right. Until next time, you guys be safe. Wear your mask, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Love you, brother.
Ladies.
Love you, man.
Love you, man.